But what about that person? They're doing it.
As the sun goes.
Good morning, security family. Thank you for tuning into this video. Appreciate you watching. Today I'm talking about the trap of deflection and what this means as it pertains to security is when you are confronting a subject and they try to draw the attention away from themselves. They will say something to the effect of, well, what about that person right over there? And what they're trying to do is say, it's in essence, what they're trying to say is, well, I should be able to do it because they're doing it. And it's a distraction technique that tries to get the attention off of themselves. So a person who deflects also may project and or gaslight you in an attempt to also reduce the consequences, the negative impact of the consequences of their actions. And this may come in the form of a verbal attack. Very common for security to hear, oh, you can't do anything because you're just a rent-a-cop or security. And someone who is gaslighting you may say things like, oh, you're being dramatic, or you're blowing this way out of proportion. This isn't that big of a deal. And those are just attempts at gaslighting you to minimize the impact, the negative impact on their behavior. And so there are some tricks you can do to avoid the trap of deflection. So keep in mind that this is just how I handled the situation. It may not be the correct way or the only way. So the first step in avoiding deflection is to recognize it when it is happening. And the sooner you can recognize it happening, the better handle you can get on the situation. And to give you an example, this came from a situation that I was in, and it involved masks and having to wear a mask in the area that I was working as a guard. And this person did not want to put a mask on, and they immediately started scanning the room looking for anybody else who didn't wear a mask. And they found somebody, and they said, well, what about that person? And immediately I knew what they were doing. So I looked them square in the eye and I said, stop deflecting. Stop trying to take the attention off of yourself. You are the star of the show. We're talking about you right now. And he didn't know what to quite to think about that. He was caught off guard by my response. And so he immediately launched into the verbal attacks. And he said, well, what are you going to do? You're not a cop. You're just a security guard. And I said, you're right. I am a security guard. And I'm going to call the police if you don't leave the facility immediately. And I pick up the phone and I started dialing the non-emergency number for the police department. And that was enough to have the guy vacate the premises. Very simple, very effective. Call them out on their behavior and point it out and show them that it is not going to work with you. And that is a very effective way of dealing with this trap of deflection that they're going to try to put you into. Going to try to make it about somebody else, make it about you, not about them. Stick your ground. Draw the attention back to themselves. Keep the attention on them. Let them know that they are not going to be able to draw that attention away from themselves, and that we are going to resolve this issue one way or another. And so that's the thing, is just recognize immediately when this is happening, and then continue to keep the attention on them regardless of who they try to bring into it. In the case of the mask, this was a medical facility, and I'm not at liberty to discuss other patients, so I couldn't even discuss that other patient with this guy. I couldn't discuss their situation. It's possible that that person had a breathing problem or wasn't able to wear a mask, or perhaps they had just pulled it down for a second to drink some water or do something. I don't know their situation. I'm not going to discuss their situation with this person. The situation was about them. Going to keep it about them, and we're going to resolve this issue that's at hand right in front of me. Not going to redirect and make it about somebody else. So this behavior is very typical, very common, coming from a narcissist. And so if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, there's several different types of narcissists, but essentially it's an overinflated sense of self-worth. And it can stem from many different causes, but the end results typically are the same, and they end up with some abusive type of behavior, hence the gaslighting, the redirection, and the deflection. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or share some examples of when you have recognized that somebody was deflecting, and what did you do about it? How did you handle it? Look forward to your comments. Hey guys, have a great day. Stay safe. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and like, comment, and share. Thank you much.